Hello, hello. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Growthvisory. As always, I am your host, Jim Crimella, and today I am so excited to have Scott Hudspeth with me. He has one of the coolest products I've ever seen for the LO space, and I've got some really cool questions for him because honestly, I'm like, wow, could you do this? Does it do this? Like, I really want to know. So he owns a company called RETR, and welcome to the show, Scott.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, I'm actually not the owner. So first and foremost, I'm not actually the owner.
Oh, fair
I'm
enough.
actually the national sales and marketing manager. So just want to clear that up in case Steven hears that.
Okay. Sorry, Stephen. But fair enough. So RETR, tell me all about it. What's it do? How's it help? And what you got going on?
Yeah, so Steven was gracefully enough to build this system a couple years ago, and we just wanted to have something special for the loan officer, to have something of value to go after the right people, and then branch managers and companies to go after the right loan officers. And what it really is from a 10,000-foot view, Jim, is it's a production report. First and foremost, to see who's doing what, where they're doing business at, what type of business they're doing. It has a bunch of other things that we can talk about on this call, but first and foremost, what we try to do is make sure that people are focusing their time with the right people who can actually benefit them or create an amazing partnership because both people are actually doing production.
Gotcha. Okay. So walk me through that a little bit more. So I'm an LO. How do I leverage your app to make my life better?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways. One is we have all the closed loans that you have personally closed since 2017 in the system. So when I first talked to a loan officer about the system, it has all the production you've ever closed along with all the agents you've ever closed the deals with.
Okay.
Number
Nice.
two, it has all the agents you've ever worked with. And so I kind of stay right there and go, all right, is there more business to get from the agents that you've already worked with? First and foremost, what type of business are they doing? Are they doing more? Is there more to get? What's the percentage of business you're getting? First and foremost, is there somebody else in that office that you can lean on because you have a relationship with one agent in that office? Can you use that to leverage other relationships in that office? Number two is, are you staying top of mind and visible with the people that already know, like, and trust you to get more referrals? And if you just stay right there, I think we try to make our business too complicated.
Yeah, we're always looking at that raw, that new lead, that new business for expansion. And sometimes we forget about, just a simple once every couple of months or once a month type of, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, and we really have been hitting hard the intentional social media selling. So one of the things we've added to RETR in the last 30 days is we can actually see who is using Instagram right now. We're working on Facebook, but we can go in and look at all the agents that are on Instagram, and then it ties into their production. So we can start intentionally social selling and being a part of their lives before we even connect with them by email or phone or text.
Okay. And what's that process look like then in an ideal world? So I've got it set up. I'm looking at Instagram. I've got, maybe I did 10 deals with 10 different agents last year.
Yeah.
And I see that 4 of them are active on Instagram. Now I'm going to go do what you said as far as actively social selling to have them get me more referrals. Am I just going on and looking at they're posting like house tours, that kind of stuff, or what does that actually look like?
Yeah. So it shows every post that they've ever done. And the cool part is I call it more intentional and relationship based instead of transaction based. I think a lot of us in business are always, like you said, going from try to turn a cold into a warm. So number one, am I staying visible and reminding the agents that I've done business with in the past who I am and what I do for a living, but more importantly, loving on them. And one of the things I think a lot of us don't know about in social media is when we give those likes and comments, that other person gets a little shot of dopamine, which is that love drug that we all crave and want. So that's why interacting and liking and commenting and happy birthday videos and different things like that takes you who you are and puts you on another level because you're just being active and intentional. But then the new relationships that you're looking to build, it also starts that relationship because people see who you are when you like their stuff. They see who you are when you comment on their stuff. They go check out your profile. One of the things I see,
that's true, 100%.
And it's crazy. I look at LO's profiles and it doesn't say who they are. It doesn't say I'm in the mortgage business, I'm a lender, and they make it hard to see who you are. So I always say, first and foremost, if I go to your profile, is it going to show me who you are and what you do for a living? If not, don't do the social selling because they're going to go, I don't know this guy.
Right,
or this
right.
girl.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of us that have been in the business world for any length of time, outside of, unless you're just outside of college or you're like a 20-year-old, it's almost taboo because social media for us, when it was really came out, it was social media for my friends and my family and my own little world. And it's not really that anymore. You know, I was watching a video from Gary Vee the other day where he talks about, you know, it really is more an interest-based delivery system than it is friends and family. Like, I have an interest in XYZ. I see content about XYZ. And he's like, if you're not getting on board with the social selling aspect of it to where I really am who I am, you know, it's like, I am a loan officer. I am who I am online. And you're comfortable with that, you're missing a massive opportunity. So I 100% agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, Gary Vee, I love Gary Vee, by the way, so shout out there. But like, one of the most important things I think is people try to act and be something that they're not.
Yes.
And I say, be who you are. Bring your family, bring your pets, bring your vacations, bring your food. Like, people want to know who they're working with and who they're associating with. And so that's right. I can't stress that enough. The other thing that I got from Gary is zero expectation of anything in return, but to help people and leave them better than I found them. I'm on this podcast with you to help your listeners, to try to give them something of value.
Which we appreciate very much.
Yeah. And if we can have one person to go, I'm going to do that and just do that one thing, and it helps them get one more deal or one more relationship that turns into a deal, I feel like I've won.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So I noticed on your website, your tagline is "RETR is better." And that actually leads me into my next question. So how is it that RETR is better than, you know, your competition? Like, what is that unique mechanism, that moat that you guys have built around that really has allowed you to achieve the success that you currently have?
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is our clients tell us that.
Nice.
So, but one of the things that we do at RETR is we take a bunch of different data sources, because there's a ton of data out there, and there's different. I didn't realize how hard it is to just start a data company or a SaaS company. You have to have, like, we try to build relationships with agents to get referrals, but the harder part is to build relationships with people that supply or have the data.
Right.
So where both of the Stevens have been so eloquently able to do is build relationships with different data sources, and we get a bunch of them, throw them into a pot, clean it, and then put it into our RETR system, which our clients say is better, it's more accurate, it appears faster. And that's from our client's point of view. So it's a beautiful thing to have testimonials from thousands of clients that are using our system.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Okay. Very cool. Now, because we are the Growthvisory, growth has got to be, you know, we got to talk a little bit about growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of growth goals does RETR have for 2025?
Oof, they're big ones. So first and foremost, we are big at listening to our users. Okay. We ask for feedback, input. How can we make this better? For example, one of the things we just added that I get chills about, all those loans that you've done since 2017 are in the system. We just added rates, estimated rates, and they're almost on the money for the rate that the client has for the time that they did the loan. So you can start triggering refi opportunities to save that client money, or conversation piece to save that person money.
That's fantastic, especially now that rates are starting to sort of edge down a little bit. You know, exactly. I keep a close eye on mortgage rates, and it's sort of fluctuating right now. But since end of January, you know, rates dipped, then they came back up a little bit, then they came back down. So I can see that it's that roller coaster. But I'd imagine by the end of this year, rates will be a little bit more palatable for people.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is just being able to go in 10 seconds and say, all right, be able to download a list, like literally build a list in your city, your county, your state, pick the minimum amount of production that you want to choose, and everybody's different. I don't want to say what's right or what's wrong, but pick where you want to go to. You want to leave out the big boys, and you want to go from minimum to max, wherever those numbers are. Create that list, download that list, export that list, or push to a CRM system that now you can start emailing, texting, calling. There's a bunch of different things that we do as a company to help not only just give you the data, but what to do with the data, scripting on when you're making calls. We do coaching calls every single day, Jim.
Yeah.
For RETR users. Actually, you don't even have to be RETR users, but you can just come to the call and learn. And I have unbelievable, massive, big producer speakers that show up to help us with scripting, to accountability, social selling, intentional social selling charts and stuff like that.
That's fantastic. So it's not just a piece of software that's soulless like some of the SaaS companies out there. It seems like you have that missing component that so many platforms do, which is that training component, that ongoing active support to help. Hey, this is our tool. it's a Ferrari, but now we're going to take you to driver school and teach you how to drive the Ferrari the way it's supposed to be driven.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's one of our big things. Is it's one thing to have the data, but it's another thing to know what to do with it. And so we, at the heart of our data, want to not only us, but bring other people in that are using the data, that are having success stories. Here's what I said. Here's what I did to build that relationship, or here's what I did to use social media. Here's what I'm doing. So the different things from all different walks of life, because we come from abundance. Yep. And what I mean by that is I choose to work with givers who will share their success stories. A lot of people try to keep it close to their vest. And I'm like, I want you to share your success story. So it's been an amazing 2 months I've learned more in 2 months from the show from other people than I have in 10 years, just by the use of the stuff and the marketing and strategies and technologies and stuff like that.
Yeah, because, you build this really cool tool set and everybody's going to look at it slightly differently from a slightly different angle and utilize it in their own niche, which, again, like you said, adds value to the whole.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Very cool. It's an amazing family that we've built and growing. Yeah, we and I'm very proud to say this. We had 123 people on our show on last Wednesday. I don't know when you're listening to this, but we're hitting around 100 every single day now of people that join us every day at 9 a.m. Eastern. And it's always something of value when it comes to not just data, but marketing in general and the basics and going back to the basics. I think a lot of people are forgetting about the basics and they're just looking at how can I use AI? And it's like, maybe not AI time yet, but let's get back to relationship instead of transactional.
Right. Yep. I've heard that more and more this year when I have conversations with business owners there. Technology definitely has its place from a leverage standpoint, but especially with this type of industry where it is relationally based, there's a lot of money floating around, right? When someone purchases a home or refinances their home, that's a lot of money. And most people, most general consumers, that's the largest transaction they're ever going to do in their life, right? So you really do have to have that trust, that relationship. So old school tactics are new school because everybody sort of forgot about them during the COVID years. And now they're like, oh, wait, these things work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're humans and we like to have actual relationships with people. So it's really nice to see you focusing on that and really like reminding the industry that this is what the industry was built on. Here, let's leverage our tool to make you even easier or more robust so that you can do this correctly. So if you were to pick out like, hey, my perfect client or the perfect person for RETR, who would that be?
So any mortgage company, branch manager, recruiter, loan officer, any and all the wholesale, we have wholesale lenders using it to, it's very exciting to see the people that are using RETR want to help other people to use RETR, which is really cool.
Right.
And so anybody that's looking to grow a mortgage company in regards to help the loan officers they currently have to do more with agent data, to connect with the right LOs who are actually producing or rising stars, if you will, or growth, in growth mode. That's a big one. Those would and then branch managers to have something of value to help their loan officers that they already have. Loan officers at a like I just talked to a mortgage company today. I was on their call and they're trying to help the loan officers they already have with RETR, how to connect, engage, and act with the right agents, how to take the agents they already have in a relationship and how to help them. And so all of those things come together to help everybody that's a loan officer, a mortgage company, a branch manager, recruiter.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Now, I would imagine this would be incredibly effective for like the local market you're in. So if you're an LO, and I'm in Tampa. So if I say I'm an LO and I want to go after the Tampa, St. Petersburg market full of real estate agents, it would make sense. But my licensing would cover the whole state of Florida. Do you find any LOs that are actually trying to build relationships outside of their local area because maybe they have better programs or great rates or something like that? Or do you find more success when the LO really focuses on, I would say, within like a coffee getting distance? Hey, can I take you out for a cup of coffee type of thing?
Yeah, so we see both. So there's a couple, like I have a dear friend in Miami who was struggling because the Miami market, the condo market just blew up.
Yes.
And so she's like, all right, I'm going to go north. So I have some friends that left Chicago that now live in Florida, still do 40-50% of their business in Chicago.
Gotcha.
So I think when you look at the micro of where you work, yes, because you can get face-to-face, you're never going to beat that face-to-face relationship you can have and the camaraderie you can get and things you can do and events you can go to together and just do stuff. But really, when it comes down to it, agents just want to be communicated with.
Yes.
They want to be loved on. They want to be appreciated. So you can do it anywhere. I've personally done it anywhere. I've helped other people do it anywhere. And so, yes, you can go macro, but I think the micro is going to be your number one growth mode.
So sort of start at that epicenter and then branch out as you go.
100%.
Got
100%.
it. Okay. Excellent. So what are you doing right now besides that great word of mouth? Like, I've got a great product. We're taking care of our people. We're growing because of that through referrals and organic means. Are you guys utilizing any other strategies right now to help accelerate the growth of RETR?
So we're in healthy growth mode, and we're growing at a very fast pace just because of the exposure and the communication and the engagement that we have with our users. And then the users are spreading on to their friends that they have in the business and companies they have in the business. So there's some big things coming that I can't talk about.
Fair enough.
That are going to be very exciting, that are going to catapult us even more into the stratosphere. And I'm over the moon excited about that. So that's coming. And there's some features that we're building that I get chills talking about because it's right down my alley that I would love to, that we'll be sharing hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. I know one of the announcements that I'm really excited about is going to be happening either the first couple weeks of April or the middle of April that I'm over excited about.
Okay.
And then from there on out, the next 30 to 60 days are going to be exciting as far as features. And we're going to go much deeper in the relationship piece, if you will. And that's about all I can say about that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Awesome. Well, thank you for the tidbits there. Now, as much as we like to celebrate our wins and focus on the things that are going right, no business functions perfectly 100% of the time. If you're in business, it doesn't matter if you're a one-man shop or if you're a 10,000 person juggernaut. You're going to have challenges. So what kind of challenges has RETR come through? Like, we've had them, we've overcome them, and now we're on the other side of them. What type of challenges have you guys had to go through on getting this thing off the ground to where it's at?
That's a great question. Steven, the beautiful part about the Steven, the owner, the Steven, it's kind of funny that they're both named Steven, they went to the same schools and the same neighborhood, stuff like that. They thrive on challenges. They would rather have something harder to solve than just smooth ride. Like, they would not, I think they're the type of people that wouldn't sleep if it was too easy and there weren't challenges.
They get worried. Something's not wrong. What's going on?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge right now is I love our customers and the feedback that they give us, but it's like, what's the hot button? What's triage? What do we do first, second, third, fourth in the list? Right. I always try to pry, and they're like, don't tell anybody. Like, what's first? Where are we at? What's next? And so we're always kind of prying at what's coming next. But that's probably the biggest thing is what's the one thing that we can implement inside of RETR that's going to move the needle the most, the biggest, the fastest for our users, and that's kind of what we're focused on first and foremost. So that's the biggest challenge.
Really improving the platform as much as humanly possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you guys currently we talked about you have big growth plans for 25, and it sounds like obviously you have a lot of initiatives that are either in the process of launching, whether it's a feature-based or it's the super secret stuff that you guys are working on. What type of challenges do you have? We're in end of March, right? And then I want to get to December 3rd, and I know that I've got these things slated out to launch at whatever interval. And I have a feeling that, the Stevens have already looked at what are the potential pitfalls or challenges or roadblocks we're going to have to overcome. Are you guys able to share, when the challenges come up, whether what the challenges may be, or how do you plan on overcoming those? Or is it just really we're going to adapt as things come up?
I think there's a couple things that they want to implement, right? First and foremost, our clients already say that we're better than the competition, anything out there, which is cool. But I think the things that are going to come out as far as features and the people that are going to be with us are going to be like another level, if you will. And so I think it's not necessarily when, it's not necessarily if, it's when it's going to happen. Right. So we're trying to listen to, like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but what is it that our users, that if we hear it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, what is it that's okay, this needs to change? For example, the rates. That was a big deal. People that rolled out Thursday morning. Okay. I'm already having success stories of people seeing in their database of opportunities and calls and process of a loan in process already.
Yeah, I mean, what a great repository of information that in one central location without a lot of legwork on your end.
Mm-hmm.
It's here's all my loans that I've done.
Yeah.
Here's all their rates that they have. Here's the situation that they're in. I could do a quick CMA on their house. It's worth this. I'm going to touch base with them and see if, even if the rate might be higher, maybe I can offer them cash out because they've got a life event, whether it's a college education they have to pay for or renovations they want to do, something along those lines.
Yeah.
It really is that I can imagine from a loan officer standpoint how valuable that would be.
One of the things I always talk about, Jim, is the 5 Ds. And this is so important. I don't care what industry's doing, what the rates are doing, what the market's doing. It's death, divorce, diamonds, diapers, and debt. Everybody that listens to this call, everybody in the mortgage business or real estate business has somebody in their phone, has somebody in their past database, or knows somebody in their past database or in their phone that's going through one of those 5 situations that needs you.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
so what our challenge at RETR is to get people to stay visible, connect, engage, interact with those people that truly are, they know, like, and trust you. They will refer you. One of the stats that blows my mind, and knowing this number, 91%, this is a NAR stat, 91% of consumers say that they will give a referral, but only 11% of people ask for referrals.
Wow. That's
so
staggering.
If you just know that stat and you're on the phone, and how can I help put you in a better financial situation by buying, selling, investing, or debt consolidation? Or
Right.
who do you know? That's probably the biggest, because let's face it, it was so good for so long, Jim. 20 years in this industry was so good for real estate agents, so good for loan officers. 2 years ago, the bottom fell out.
Yes, sir.
No system, no process. It was so good. Everybody's making so much money. Here we are. I don't know what to do.
Yep.
We give them the data. When I get on the call and a loan officer goes, I don't like it. I don't like agents. I'm like, well, let's look.
Yeah.
The agents you're working with are great people, but they don't have anything to give you. So it's not their fault. They're maybe not in the business. They're part-time. They close 3 deals a year and it pays for an amazing cruise vacation for the whole family. Awesome. Right? They don't have to do anything. That's the best part about being self-employed is I can do a little or as much as I want and be in or out. And so that's probably, as a company, if I could get people to do the basics, connect, engage, interact with the right people, stay visible, use social media, it's free. That's the problem, is social media is free. So there's no skin in the game to use it or not use it, right?
Which means there's no incentive to consistently use it because, well, it's free, it's not costing me anything. If it costs something, now it's like, oh, I've got skin in the game.
I better log in and see who friend requested me the last 90 days. Oh my God, these are people I went to school with. Oh, they're buying houses. Oops, missed that one. I mean, how often do we hear that, all the time?
Absolutely. So for the audience that's out there, would you be willing to give a couple of tidbits? Because I'm thinking that there might be some issues as humans on how to genuinely interact with humans.
Yeah.
Because when you say, just stay on top of mind. Stay in front of them, be a human.
Yeah.
I feel like, and sometimes it's like, we know how to be a human, but we don't know in a business context, hey, I'm reaching out to you because I care about you, but I also am asking you for a referral. So would you be willing to share like an example or two about how do you do that? How do I go from, I worked with this person or was a borrower or a real estate agent and I'm reaching out, I haven't talked to them in like 6 months. What do you do?
Perfect. Yeah. And I have people say, I haven't called them in 2 years, so I don't dare call them. I'm like, here's the crazy part. Here's the best part. They haven't been sitting around thinking of you. Like, Jim, let Jim, he's a jerk.
Where have you been?
Me in 2 years. Like, oh my God. They have their own lives,
Yes.
So it's as easy as calling up and go, hey, Jim, how you been? You doing all right? I worked with you in the past and helped you get into that home. You and your family doing okay? Absolutely. Hey, just want to call. I don't want to take a whole lot of your time. I just want to see, man, rates are coming down a little bit. And I just want to see, is there anything I can do, Jim, to put you and your family in a better situation, looking to buy, sell, invest? That consolidation, you got anything coming up that you need a little extra cash for?
Yep.
No?
So simple as that.
It's simple as like I challenge you to make 100 of those calls and not have a deal from either the person you call or at the end, I would say, hey, Jim, can you do me a favor? If you hear of anybody looking to buy, sell, invest, or need some debt consolidation, can you just send them over to me? I love the opportunity to interview for the position.
Awesome. So it's really just, for those of you watching this, sometimes business is as easy as getting out of your own head and just saying hi.
Yeah.
Right? We analyze all of the micro things that, how do I say it? What's my tone? How do I open? What's a good leader? What's not a good leader? What if it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
What if it's really
Go through
just
the
be
nose.
a genuine person and say, hey, haven't talked to you in forever. How's the family? How's everything going? Here's what's going on with my family. By the way, ask the question.
Yeah.
Because he or she who asks will at least get an answer. Are you going to get no's? Yes. Does that mean they hate you? No. It just means it's not the right time.
They're saying no to your offer. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to your offer. That's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I say go for the no's, because if you're not getting the no's, Jim, there's no way to get a yes. No way.
I heard that for sure.
The crazy part about this is you can get to a point where you can determine your success. How many calls do I need to make to get a yes? The better you get, if you can remove that fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. Oh my God, I haven't called them in 2 years. It doesn't matter. The crazy part is they're not sitting around thinking of you either, but they don't even know they need help until you say, oh, the rates are coming down. They're not sitting around looking at news and checking their mortgage rate, and like they don't even see the rate on their statement. All they do is pay the bill.
They don't even know who the bank is anymore because it's been sold 4 times.
Right. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing the advice there. All right. One last businessy question that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
Let's say you and I get back on the horn here a year from now, and we're looking back and we look back at 2025. What does the ultimate win look like for you? 2025 was a major win because of blank. What's that answer?
I think if we had 5,000 users in RETR that were able to take our data and increase their production, which increases their paycheck, which is life-changing in our industry with the amount of loan, with the value of loans now, the average loan size across the world. If we had 5,000 users that said, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done without RETR, knowing who I'm talking to and you guys showing me how to use social media, connect, engage, interact, help us overcome the fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of rejection, and just make those darn calls and communicate, engage, interact, and ask for the business, that would make us, it'd be the most amazing thing in the world.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time very much for hanging out with me. If there are people watching this right now and they're like, man, I need to get a hold of RETR, get a hold of Scott, how can people get a hold of you to be able to either talk more about this or just, get a demo or something along those lines?
Well, there's a couple different ways. My email is scott@RETR.app, RETR.app. And then if they want a 14-day trial, go in and check it out. It's RETR.app, which is a 14-day free trial. Go in, you got all your stuff, you got everything, you got a full version of RETR. And then if you just email me, or if you want to join me on the RETR Morning Show, RETR morningshow.com, there's 100 of us, 100 loan officers across the country and growing at the time of this recording. If you want to jump on there and kind of get to know us a little bit, see who's coming on board, there's some amazing speakers, and we're all about helping you as a loan officer, as a group, to do better, and whatever better means to you is what it means to us.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. So RETRmorningshow.com.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
That's the morning show. And then RETR.app. I want to make sure it's app. So that's the TLD. So not .com, RETR.app.
Yes, sir.
So Scott, thank you, sir. I appreciate the conversation. I think the platform is phenomenal. I had a chance to look through the video a little bit on the website. It looks amazing. Those of you that have been watching Growthvisory, I had a mortgage company way back in the day, back when everybody had a mortgage company. And I know that this would have been an invaluable tool because you put it right at your fingertips, right?
Yes,
who you need to reach out to, when you need to reach out to them. So I think it's a fantastic job that a fantastic thing you guys are building. And I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to share some info with us.
Yeah. And Jim, just to get back to you, I have some amazing friends that you would be amazing on your show. So awesome. I'll make sure to give them, send them your way.
Yes.
One of the guys.
So if you know of anyone, watch this.
I do.
Watch this. You guys watching at home, I'm going to ask for a referral. If you know anyone that could be an interesting, genuine, authentic conversation on the Growthvisory, I would love to be introduced to them, have a chance to do the same thing that we just did, so we can learn more about really awesome programs and businesses out there and help everybody grow. Because that's the ultimate goal of my show, is to give advice, show cool opportunities that are out there, and then really put the power in your hands to grow your business the way you want. Because as you say, as a business owner, the whole goal of this was not to create a 100-hour-a-week job. Right. Mm-hmm. It was to create a lifestyle and to help people. at least that's why I'm here, right? I
Amen.
want a lifestyle that I love, and I want to help as many people as I can. So
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it very much, Scott.
Go Gators.
Go Gators. Are you a Gator?
I just see the helmet, man.
Oh, I'm a Gator. Like, I'm an alum. My dad's an alum. My brother's an alum. So yeah. So I've got, for those of you watching, I don't know. I've never said this before on air. So Steve Spurrier, Danny Werfel, and Tim Tebow have all signed that.
Wow. Awesome, brother. Awesome.
So that's my favorite one. That's
Very
my
cool.
favorite little sign,
Very
my
cool.
autograph display, if you will.
Awesome. Well, it's been an honor and nice to get to know you. I look forward to getting to know you even better and having you on my show as well. I'd love to have you on my show
sure.
and share with the listeners what you do and how you do it. And I think what you do is amazing and the content's good. And so, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. Really
awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Scott. And catch you all on the next episode of the Growth Advisory. Bye now.